Christmas Island is a wonderful tropical island in the middle of the Indian Ocean, some 2,000 kilometres north-west of Broome on the Australian mainland and 450 kilometres south of Indonesia. The island has a small local population, but is very famous for the red crabs on the island that migrate annually to the sea, as well as the robber crabs. And more recently in the news, it's well known for what they call asylum seekers coming by boat from Indonesia trying to enter Australia. Recently, whilst visiting the island with family, we were taken to a beautiful little beach called Greta Beach, and this has got to be one of the finest little pieces of environment on the island. But we inadvertently uncovered an environmental nightmare and a wildlife calamity. Greta Beach is a very small beach, perhaps not more than 100 metres long, but it is very deep down from the cliff face. It's about 25 metres down onto the beach, and you need to access it through this steep aluminium staircase to get onto the beach. So this is what we did, and we lowered our picnic gear down this very steep ladder and to get onto the beach. But when we got to the beach, I was astonished with what I found. There was literally tons of garbage extended right along the beach and in the water, all sorts of plastic and bottles and netting and thongs by the seemed like the millions, and I was just so shocked by this that I sat down and made this little video to tell the world about it.
Interesting thing, you know, when I was a lad growing up 60 odd years ago, we never even heard of a thing called the thong. Now they're a footwear of the universe, especially in the warmer climates, and here they are washed up on the beach with all this rubbish by the thousands. There's hundreds and thousands of bits of plastic and thongs here just washed up on the beach, and if I'm not careful I might get washed up with it. Just look at it in the water here. Plastic and rope and old rubbish washed from who knows where. The nearest land is Indonesia, 300 kilometres away, so it's come across the ocean for hundreds of kilometres, and who knows what damage it's done along the way. Just have a look at this old fishing netting mixed in with thongs and bits of rubbish. I mean, who knows how many turtles could have got caught up in that, or fish, wildlife, dolphins, whatever. But this is what we've done to the planet in the last 50 years. Just throw the rubbish overboard or tip it in the sea and hope it'll go away. Well, it does go away. And it's come here to this beautiful beach on Christmas Island, this Greta Beach. And what a shame to see so much filth and rubbish flowing in from the ocean.
Despite all the initial shock and horror with all the rubbish on the beach, we soon settled down and started gathering some firewood to start a little fire for the barbecue, and the children started playing with some of the rubbish they could find on the beach, and one of the guys got himself a few plastic drums and made himself a little drum kit, completely unaware of what was about to happen next.
Well, I was just looking for a drumstick to play my drums, and I saw a little moving thing, and I thought it might be a hermit crab. And I turned around, and it was a little baby turtle, and I was struggling to get out of the.
What happens to the rubbish? It all lands on top of the baby turtle's nest, and he can't find his way out.
Okay, now we'll help him back to the sea. But there might be eggs and... Mark, can you do it?
Got him? Traditional turtle nesting site, now a rubbish dump. And the poor little turtles are trying to fight their way out through plastic and the rubbish that's been thrown into the sea.
You can smell the water now.
There's a virgin up in the sky. Keep an eye on the birds.
Birds might see it. Good boy. Go Thongy.
What should we name him?
Thongy. Want me to go down? That's alright. That's what they... Smell the water.
What a thrill it was that one of a possible 100 eggs had hatched and made it through the garbage into the ocean and avoided those frigate birds that were hovering above, waiting for their dinner. What an amazing thing, this little turtle had made it to the ocean. And perhaps if the beach has been maintained and cleaned, she will return as she's programmed to do and lay another 100 eggs in about 20 years' time. But look, the celebrations are not over. About a half an hour after we found our first baby turtle, we discovered many more.
Stuck in the rubbish. Can't find his way out. Deliver him to the beach. Rubber crab in the background watching. Right. Here the turtles are struggling against rubbish. Look at them, poor little things. They can't get through the rubbish. There you go, mate.
On the day, we estimated that we saved approximately 25 hatchling turtles from a certain death. They would have been stuck in the rubbish and died of fatigue, or they would have been picked off by the frigate birds that were hovering above the beach looking for food.
That's what they are. Oh, look at those little fellas struggling over the plastic.
One way, little guy.
Struggling to get through.
Although it is wonderful to think that 25 of these little turtles made it safely to the water's edge, the thought of what happened to the other 75 eggs is not so pleasant. It's likely that 75 or thereabouts hatchling turtles were trying to dig their way to the daylight and were struck by piles of garbage that have been left on this turtle nesting site. So sadly they would have died underneath our rubbish that we threw into the ocean. So it's on our heads now to take responsibility and try to clean up this traditional nesting site. There's only 2 beaches on Christmas Island where the turtles can nest, and we need to be responsible and keep these sites clean and clear of all debris.
Thank you, God, for this incredible experience. Go for it, boys. Go for it. Look at it. Here they are. Look
Yeah, hello, still a minute. Hey! Hello! Hello! You want some water?
This is clearly an international problem. Turtles know no boundaries, and they swim the entire oceans of the world. The rubbish that has accumulated on Greta Beach on Christmas Island is an international disgrace. It has come from shipping and countries all around the globe. The turtles have been under threat not only from netting and rubbish that they consume, and they've also been under threat by people who kill them for their shells or for their food content. And so we need to do everything possible to try to protect every nesting site for turtles that we have within our control. So if you want to get involved in helping protect the turtles nesting on Greta Beach on Christmas Island, an Australian territory, then please contact the relevant authorities either in Australia or the international authorities where you feel you can get support and help. Access to Greta Beach is very difficult because of the 25-metre drop down the cliff face, and so a lightweight winch might be necessary to haul the sea garbage, the flotsam and jetsam, to the top of the cliff. And as for volunteers and helpers, Christmas Island has a detention centre there with hundreds of asylum seekers awaiting approval to enter Australia. It might be possible to get volunteers from this centre to come down and help a small team remove the rubbish from the turtle nesting site. This would of course be a win-win for everybody, because the refugees would be able to get a welcome break from the detention centre, and the turtles get a clean nesting site. It is a regular clean-up so that it's maintained throughout the year, and the whole world benefits because there are more turtles swimming freely in the environment.